Hello and welcome back to another episode of Who's This Guy? The only show on YouTube critics are calling, please stop emailing me. On today's episode, apparently I can't talk about Forza 2023 without also talking about GT7. So today we're talking about GT7, roll the clips! I did not like Forza 2023 very much, which is very sad because I am a Forza guy, always have been. The new one was just... I haven't really played much of the Gran Turismo series, to be completely honest with you. I've kind of viewed it from a distance with interest, I'd say. But anyway, let's jump in and see what GT7's all about. I love the way this game starts. The opening credits roll over footage from the history of car manufacture and racing. If you're like a bit of a history nerd like me, or you just love attention to detail, or you love cars, you're gonna get a kick out of the way that this thing is presented. So with GT7, you've got heaps of options of what you want to do. You've got standard circuit races. You've also got photography, music rallies that are really weird but really cool. License tests to keep you occupied for hours and hours. If you're like a super nerd like me, there's heaps of this reading material in the museum on all the different brands, the history of automobiles. The attention to detail here is nuts. There's no reason that this cup of coffee in the cafe needs to be photorealistic. Let's talk about the menus. Going from Forza's grey, garbage, horrible corporate hellscape of whatever you call this to this beautiful, vibrant world map with a time of day that shifts, even though it doesn't need to, just to make it look a little bit different every time you're in it. GT7 feels really big in a way that Forza feels very, very small. All these different types of races, all the different activities. On a weird side note, this variety and this world map reminds me of the old virtual tennis games. Do you remember how in those games it was like, if you don't feel like playing a match right now, you can make a fucking tennis hamburger, or we can play some cards, or collect these chickens. Look out for the snake! I guess people would call Forza focused. After playing GT7, I'm more inclined to call it slight. It's also kind of crazy that GT7 came out more than a year and a half ago at this point, and it looks significantly better, in my opinion, than Forza does. In Forza, you get these flickering lines and the seams everywhere. The illusion is broken pretty quickly that this is not a solid object, that this is lines of code. Whereas over here, you look at this and you go, that's just a fucking car. It's pretty mind-blowing that this thing was also targeting the PlayStation 4 in addition to the PlayStation 5. You compare that to Forza, where the developers were like, no, listen. The Xbox One can't handle these bugs, or these glitches, or these awesome cutscenes.
It's a ghost car!
I really can't stress enough how good GT7 looks. The lighting is incredible. People are like, well, Forza went for a more realistic approach, and I'm like, desaturating everything doesn't make your game look more realistic. This doesn't look real. This looks fucking real. GT also looks good all the time. Forza has this weird like specificity problem where it needs all of its conditions to line up perfectly to create a really good looking image. And if one or two factors are a little bit out of whack, it ends up looking really flat. GT7 on the other hand, this looks good whether you're racing at morning, afternoon, midday, nighttime, in the rain, in the forest, city, on the traditional racetracks. The variety of locations here is fan-fucking-tastic. Can I just say though, there shouldn't be this many hot air balloons in the same airspace. This is not going to end well for anyone. These sorts of locations are exactly what I was craving when I was playing through Forza. I know this game is older. It's had the advantage of post-release support. Forza is much newer, but with the vibe, fantastical environments is not the direction that they're going to go with. They're probably just going to add more and more racetrack. The other really smart thing in GT7 to help with this overall feeling of variety is the cafe. So you pick up these menu book things and they say, okay, now I want you to go collect 3 of these cars, do this race, take a couple of photos, do a couple of license tests, complete a couple of missions. It's designed to ping you around the world map. In terms of car handling, I think that GT feels a little slipperier than Forza does. Forza's super understeery. They are both really good. GT7 feels like it's been in development for a long time and had love poured into it. There's so many parts of this game that don't need to look amazing, but they do. Forza was like, what are we going to make it look like when you're not racing? It's grey and some yellow trim. And this stream here, or these trucks reflecting the sky in this one cutscene, you're never going to see that again. Meanwhile, Forza's like, So was there anything you preferred about Forza, Sam? Yes. As much as I hate these menus in Forza, because they're so boring, it's very clear where you need to go to play multiplayer. Having a 20-minute plus wait time was incredibly obnoxious. Still shitloads of bugs in here. Still doesn't look as good as GT7, but I had a good time with it. GT7, I didn't even know that you had to unlock the multiplayer. So I was looking around for ages going, where the fuck is the multiplayer? And then I played a little bit more of it and I unlocked it. Do I go to the lobby or the pad? Now I'm jumping in here. My car seems underpowered. Oh, there goes everyone. Then I got a race car that was fast as fuck. No, you got too much pee. Oh, I don't have the right tires on. I need to put the right tires on. Oh, I don't own the right tires. Gotta buy the tires. Oh, fuck, I bought the tires, but now didn't put them on. Now I go in the race and people fly away from me anyway. I'm sure if I put more time into the GT7 multiplayer, I'd probably start really enjoying it. But just the initial experience for a series novice was really confusing to figure out how to get in and get everything configured properly so that I could be competitive. Oh, and also Forza does better collisions. Neither of these games have very good damage modeling, but Forza is at least pretty crunchy with its collisions. GT7 has this weird thing where your entire car feels like it's surrounded by this layer of protective foam. You sort of feel like you're bopping off stuff. Ultimately though, it's these opening credits that really sway me in the direction of GT7. It's the museum with all these little details. The amount of time and effort they've clearly put into modeling these beautiful cars. There's so much passion here. And that's what Forza used to feel like. Like they really gave a shit and were trying to give you a comprehensive, lovingly crafted experience. Now it's just like, here's a grey menu and do some races. I just think GT7 is a pretty amazing thing. Ultimately, the biggest indicator for me about the quality difference between these two games, I was really dreading going back to get more footage from Forza to do this video. And when I was done recording it, I was like, thank fuck. Whereas with GT7, it's literally taken me longer than it should have to get this video started because I didn't want to stop playing it. So yeah, GT7. This video is obviously a little late, but apparently I can't talk about Forza without talking about GT. But that's the thing. The new Forza has kind of made the GT versus Forza debate redundant. GT is so vast in its scope and Forza feels so small. Forza could literally be an icon on the GT7 world map that just said circuit races underneath. Anyway, that's GT7. I'm Sam. That's all I got. Next time I might look at Need for Speed Shift or something. Really piss people off. Okay, bye.